Welcome back to It Ain't Rocket Science. I'm Adam Balkin. It's the future of, well, just about everything. Coding is being incorporated into everything you can imagine, from video games to tablets and even human body parts like the bionic eye that can restore sight to the visually impaired. Here at South by Southwest, one of the largest tech festivals in the world, its influence is unmistakable and undeniable. Programming has never been so important, and one viral video is doing its part to ensure a generation of coders not unlike you.
The whole limit in the system is just that there just aren't enough people who are trained and have these skills today.
Over the next 10 years, there will be 1.4 million jobs in computer science in the U.S., but only 400,000 grads will be qualified for those jobs, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. And it's statistics like those that have mobilized an online movement called Codeorg, a movement that spawned this viral video featuring a who's who of the tech world and beyond, encouraging kids to start learning computer coding ASAP.
The programmers of tomorrow are the wizards of the future. You know, you're going to look like you have magic powers compared to everybody else.
One of my goals was to break down a lot of the stereotypes that exist about computer coding, namely that you have to be a genius to do it, that coders code alone for an infinite number of hours while the pizza boxes pile up, that not many girls code, and all of those things. All day long we interact with all of this technology, social media, it's everywhere, yet not enough of us know how it really works.
That viral video is all over YouTube and Code.org. There's a 1 minute, 5 minute, and then the full 9-minute version. So you've finished watching the movie and you've decided, yes, you're motivated to begin. What next? Well, Code.org has for you lots of resources, among them links to free apps that seem like video games but are in fact helping to teach the fundamentals of computer coding.
We'll give you a whole bunch of different options for how to learn online using free websites, free apps, as well as a directory of all the local schools. You enter your zip code, whether it's public schools, private schools, summer camps, workshops, where you can go and learn and take classes.
Again, all those resources are online at Code.org, and to find out about other programs in your neighborhood that encourage children to take up science, technology, engineering, and math, head over to our parent company, Time Warner Cable's www.connectamillionminds.com. You might ask, well, how do you get students and future engineers interested in coding? Well, in Texas, you hold a contest. HP Code Wars, now in its 16th year, awards trophies, computers, internships, and above all, bragging rights to those who speak in code.
They describe it as the Comic Con of coding. These computer whizzes are solving tough problems as part of HP Code Wars, a computer programming competition for high schoolers in Houston, Texas. 187 teams from 63 schools across the state came ready to crack these coding problems and share their enthusiasm for their sport.
I love coding. If I could code for the rest of my life, I would.
Teens racked their brains to solve 22 complex computer coding problems over a 3-hour span to score points. For some, it's a chance to show off their skills, while for others, it's an opportunity to learn more about communicating through code.
I mean, the problems are what excites me the most. They're always really engaging, really interesting. Usually there's some easier ones, and then there's some really challenging problems that I don't know, I get a rush when I solve them correctly.
Before I got into all this, I was just kind of dumb about computers. I would sit there and I would look at the computer and I'd just be like, what are you doing? Talk to me. But now it's like we speak the same language. It's a common ground. It's really cool.
Each team only gets one computer to work on, so it emphasizes the importance of teamwork.
The three of us get one computer, and so there's a lot more teamwork than there would be otherwise, which is kind of like how it is in the real world, like if it's your job.
And that's the message HP hopes the students take away from their experience.
What HP is trying to do here is really encourage fun and encourage, the diversity, as well as encourage many more of these kids to be interested in these STEM-related careers.
It's really cool, especially for me. I want to be a computer scientist when I grow up, to be able to see how excited all these people are, and it's really awesome.
Winners of the competition receive trophies, while all participants are entered to win computers, software, and internships at HP. For It Ain't Rocket Science, I'm Monica Brown.
In New York City, teens are taking a different approach to programming. Young game enthusiasts are teaming up with game developers to design their own video games. Our Stephanie Simon gets a lesson on game design with students at the Museum of the Moving Image.
In a world awash in digital devices, video games are always at the ready. But instead of being drawn into competition, these teens are going into the game to find out what goes on behind the pixels and get a shot at creating their very own video games.
When I came here, I got to know that it's super difficult. First you have to think, and then you gotta imagine everything. You gotta do designing and all that stuff.
Over 2 days, the Museum of the Moving Image brought video game designers to the Game Jam at Indiecade to share their development tricks with these teens.
A lot of kids are coming up and asking basically like where I got the idea from, like how I made the product, and so I get a chance to this sort of, you know, easy, fun to share your story and like here's what I was doing and give a few tips, like maybe here's where you can get started.
Indiecade, sometimes referred to as the gaming world's Sundance Film Festival, is an independent-focused game event bringing together designers from across the country. The Game Jam caters to teens eager to learn more about the process behind game development.
There's a whole design process. It's not just you think of an idea and then make it. There's just so much you can do and so much you can take from it.
And that design process goes beyond graphics and visual elements. These teens are also going behind the scenes and looking into programming choices developers make as they craft their games.
They're meeting with developers. They're learning about the game design process. Today they're just like being completely immersed in game design, and then tomorrow they're going to make their own games in a day-long workshop.
Right now it's more about just that sense of like wonder and like seeing that like, oh wow, that you made this, wow, maybe I can make that too. The draw is something that they're familiar with, games, and that's something that they already know, and so as a byproduct of that, like the rest of technology and science comes in.
It's a completely new experience because I've played them, and now seeing how they're made just makes them that much more interesting.
For It Ain't Rocket Science, I'm Stephanie Simon.
These bots are going head-to-head. The first robotics competition is in full swing as these battling bots from across the country take a shot at earning a spot in the World Championships later this year. We'll hear from the students behind the wheel coming up. To learn more about Time Warner Cable's Connect a Million Minds and to find hands-on science, technology, engineering, and math opportunities in your community, visit connectamillionminds.com during the break.